Hi, today I'm going to show you how to set up for painting so that you will have all the things that you need and you'll get ready to go. So here on this sheet, which is on our bulletin board, it says painting setup, and these are the items that you need to gather to take to your painting spot. You'll need an apron, you need a water cup half full, you'll need paint, whatever you're deciding to paint with. You may want a palette for mixing, and we can talk more about that another time. You'll need a paper towel, you'll need your brushes, and of course you'll need your paper with your name on it. So once you've gathered up these materials and you've gotten to your painting spot, a few reminders about how to use our paint. So you'll want to fill your water cup half full. I've got my 2 brushes. I have my paper towel. I have a newspaper underneath my paper so I can go all the way to the edge and not make a mess. And I have a pencil so that I can write my name. It's important to write your name first because after you've painted, the paper is wet, and it is a lot harder to get your name on your paper when the paper is wet. So remember, when you are using any kind of paint, but specifically watercolor paint today, you need to get your brush wet first. So you swish, and you always wipe your brush on the side of the bowl. Never tap, just wipe. And then you tickle the paint, whatever color it is that you want to get started. I'm going to start with some blue. Tickle the paint. Remember, the brush is always having a good hair day. The hair and bristles are not splayed all over the place. It's nice and sharp like a pencil. I have paint right at the very tip of my brush, not all the way over here, because the tip of the brush is the only part that I paint with. It's the only part that touches the paper. So make sure I've got quite a bit of paint loaded up on my brush here. And then I'm just going to start painting. Remember, the tip of the brush is the only part that touches the paper. While I'm painting, I still have a good hair day on my brush. I'm going to add a little more water because this is looking a little dry. But if I'm just getting water, I don't need to rinse my brush completely. Now I'm ready for another color. So I do need to rinse my brush completely. I'm going to put my brush back in the water, all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to swish and then wipe. And then, especially if my colors of paint are really wet, I might need to blot or tap my paintbrush on my paper towel to just make sure that it's not dripping. This also shows me that I've gotten all the paint out of my brush and I'm ready to go to my next color. So I'm moving to yellow. I'm going to tickle the paint. I might need to add just a little bit more water to that if it's super dry. My brush has a good hair day, and I'm going to paint right on top of this blue area because I'm going to be color mixing right on my paper. Tickle the paint. Good hair day always. I'm going to switch colors, so I'm going to swish, wipe, blot, and then I'm going to go tickle the red. Just the very tip of the paintbrush has paint on it. Add a little bit more water, and then paint with my last color. If I do this the right way, all of my paints stay nice and clean. They don't have colors mixing in and out of them. I'm doing my color mixing today on my paper, but you can also mix on a palette. And my brush looks good. When I'm all finished, I'm gonna swish, wipe, and I'm gonna set it down on my paper towel.